Welcome to Wedding Day Podcast with your hosts, Sonja Babich, CEO of Iron Diamond Media, a leading wedding resource featuring 7 localized wedding brands across the country.
Hi everybody, it's Sonja Babich here with Wedding Day Podcast. I am here with Amanda Holder, publisher of California Wedding Day. And we are at the beautiful 440 Elm here in Long Beach, California, and we're sitting with our dear friend, David Herschorn, owner and founder of PhotoBohemia. And David and I'm just gonna look at you now and say, like, I love that our paths crossed right before Best of last year when you came into, I would say, my life, but also the California Wedding Day family. Mm-hmm. And you have been such a joy, and everybody who told me that we had to meet you was like right about that. But PhotoBohemia is so unique for the industry, events and weddings, and of course your professionalism in photography. Can you dive into being a photographer and what is PhotoBohemia?
Yeah, totally. Well, thank you so much for the lovely introduction.
Yeah.
I think it goes both ways. Meeting you, Sonja, and Amanda has been one of the biggest gifts of the last year for me, and getting to engage with the California Wedding Day family and be part of the Best of event has just been so much fun and so much love.
You're gonna make me tear up.
Because my heart.
Your energy and your smile is just so contagious, and just like your passion of what you do. So I'm excited to share you with the world today. But let's talk about PhotoBohemia.
Yes.
How did you start PhotoBohemia?
Well, I started, basically at the time I was living in San Francisco, and I started working in the photography industry. I'd always pursued photography and had started working as a lighting technician and assistant to commercial and advertising and fashion photographers, setting up the lights, helping wrangle models, working on these like big, massive productions, but kind of just being a hired hand, setting up the lighting and stuff. After doing that for about 5 years, I was trying to plot my course to take on advertising or commercial photography for my own, but needed the time and space to build and the money to build that portfolio. And I remembered back when I was a kid, there was this kind of hippie family that I was friends with where it was like 3 brothers that all lived on the same 20-acre property, and they would have these huge parties. And there was this old guy that had this trailer that was called the Trailer of Love, and he had it parked on their property, and it was this super fun thing. You'd go in and dress up and take pictures, and that had always stuck with me as sort of this core memory of being a kid and going to these crazy parties when I was starting in elementary school and then through middle and high school. And I had always thought, well, that would be something cool to bring to events in the Bay Area at wineries and estates and stuff like that. So I bought this 1953 vintage trailer and kind of restored it. It had been sitting on this guy's ranch for years. I restored it. I kind of pimped it out as this cool little bohemian set. Mm-hmm. We got all these Indian textiles to put in there and these velvet pillows, and I started building this collection of costumes and kind of recreated the Trailer of Love but with my own bohemian spin to it, and started marketing it for weddings. And it that was something where I was let me do this to try to make the money to support myself and build my advertising and fashion portfolio, but that business kind of took off on its own, and here we are almost 10 years later.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, that was sort of a...
I didn't know that. I didn't
didn't either.
So we were introduced to you by Laura Cardo with Kristen Banta Events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember her showing me this image that was at a corporate event, and it was an airplane, right? Yeah. And so guests could actually look like they're sitting in an airplane and look like they're flying. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I was that is so cool. Yeah. So it's not like you do just a trailer for events, you are creating these custom creative backdrops to complement an event, right?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, well, what happened in the beginning was I started with a trailer, and I had this whole vision, like I'll have this trailer and I'll take it to events on the weekends and do weddings. And then during the week, I'll work on other stuff with models and build my fashion portfolio. But what happened was very quickly, I started working with all of these event planners in the Bay Area, and they're like, oh, we love this experience you create, but hey, our next party it's a space themed event and it's on the 40th floor of the Salesforce Tower. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to lose the job. Like they wanted to hire me for it. And I was like, oh, I can come up with something for that. And I had been working with all of these like really amazing set designers and been on all these cool sets. And I hadn't been in that department, but I had like kind of absorbed and watched how all these people work, and I had assisted stylists and stuff, and so I kind of knew a lot of the tricks of the trade and just started pulling stuff together. And that was what PhotoBohemia became very quickly. Was I would just work with planners to kind of get a sense of what they were going for in their event, what they wanted to create in terms of an experience, and then create something customized for that event.
It is so cool. Like last year, you assisted with us for Best of, and we brought in a ball pit.
Yeah, I mean, we had some crazy ideas, and you were just up for it. You were like, let me take this, let me run with it. And it couldn't have turned out better, more perfectly than it did. And, you know, it was such a highlight of the party, those various areas. It was
energy. And there was a line to take actually in both locations, because you had two installations, or what would you say, like the setups, what do you call them?
Activation, installation, photo experience.
Yeah, and everybody was lined up like they wanted their turn.
Yep.
It brings such a good energy to an event, wedding.
Yeah.
To just like, don't just settle just for basic, right? Like really have something that comes in and complements the design that you want to go for. Maybe it's for going out to eat at your favorite diner. I'm sure you would love that. Pop that baby up.
Yeah. Well, and just, I mean, tying in with the design and elevating the rest of the design is something that's really special. But what I think, and the feedback that I often get is like, and I suppose why I've stuck with doing this so long and I'm so passionate about it, is that we really make people look good. And I think that the thing, like events are this special moment where you have, and especially weddings, you know, family together, friends that haven't seen each other in a while, and everybody's dressed up, everybody has their hair and makeup done, everyone looks amazing, and everyone's so happy because you're celebrating someone in your life. So when you have all of those elements together, that's like 90% of getting a great photo. We just do studio lighting, have a really cool setup, and then whether it's me or one of the other photographers on our team photographing people, we really try to form a little human connection with people. And whether it's an individual kind of coming in close and framing up a shot to make them look good, or a couple having them do something cute together, or getting a big group together and really putting a lot of intention into like that moment.
Oh my gosh, your team that night was in the moment. They were like throwing balls
in the ball pit, getting the right angle,
and getting up close and personal. That's so true. So when like a project is reached out to you, a client reaches out to you, what is like lead time to like create this experience, like installation with you? Because it can't just be 2 weeks. You can be like, yeah, I can pop something up in 2 weeks.
Well, it depends on what they're looking for. And if a couple or if a client wants something that's like totally custom, you know, that's something that we need. Usually, I mean, we're used to working on pretty tight timelines. I would say like a month is comfortable for us to kind of pull almost anything together. But we, especially during COVID, when a lot of weddings and events became a lot smaller and budgets became a lot smaller too, before COVID, we were really moving in this direction of like the really, really high-end market and doing really custom designs and building everything from scratch. And then COVID happened and everything stopped. And what we did during that time was actually go back through our whole inventory, and we had a warehouse full of all of these different set pieces, and then basically slimmed them down, repaired things, thought about how to make things into like much more reusable pop-up sets, and have built this whole inventory of things that are almost like off the shelf options.
turnkey ready.
Yeah.
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 And so that's kind of what we have now. And so we do that, we do the custom sets, and we kind of have like little bits of formulas for the custom sets as well, so that we can really tie in with a color theme or, you know, a certain aesthetic or design without totally building everything from scratch. And that helps us keep the cost down. And that also helps us, you know, turn things around, and also for our team, you know, manage multiple events in the same weekend.
Right.
Yeah, and just to help like the viewer and the listener understand the difference between you is like you are a custom set and you have a real life photographer capturing the attendees having fun in your installation or whatever the setup is, versus a pop-up backdrop with an iPad to press, take a picture and put your head in the frame, right? Like you
Exactly.
have more of that personal connection at the event,
Yeah.
right? Is I being clear on that?
Yes,
Okay,
totally.
good. Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that the same idea as a traditional photo booth, in that we're kind of capturing this moment and people are kind of hopping in for photos, but our footprint is much larger. Typically our backdrops are 9 feet tall, 12 feet wide, sometimes a lot bigger. It's usually something that we're spending a few hours setting up. And then also what we do that I think is so special, and I love it when, you know, when couples get really involved with the styling element, because we bring in props and also a full costume rack of
You
vintage
do.
Vogue.
Definitely had some fun with that.
I'll be popping up a photo of Laura and Jesse shortly. But it's so fun, and they get so excited when they're like looking through the rack of like costumes.
Yeah.
Shake it up.
And that totally came from, I mean, a big part of why I got really hyped on this idea too, from working on fashion sets, is like, it is the most fun thing ever being on like a really cool photo shoot where you have like the models coming in and the stylists and the photographers and the art directors, and everybody's like really vibing and just creating art. It is the most fun environment to be in. And I just wanted to like recreate that feeling for events.
Well, yeah, like you were saying, it's, you know, that little kid in you gets to come out and play. You know, you go back to the days of when you were little in your neighbor's garage playing dress up.
Yeah.
And it gets to bring that little kid back out in you as an adult and offer something fun and different and exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there has to be one of the biggest projects or most creative projects you're so proud of. What was the one like top of mind that was like, whoa, that is a big ask and a big like endeavor, but I want to do it?
Oh man, there have been a lot
I
at
bet
this point.
they are.
I would say one probably that has turned into something that we keep doing over and over again is one of my very early clients, very randomly, was the Apple Industrial Design team, Johnny Ives' team at Apple, that designs all of the, they design basically what all of Apple's products look like. And we would work with them, and they just every year for their holiday party and product launch party want to just kind of like tie in with the latest Apple designs, and also just like really push the envelope and taking on something new. So that's been cool.
No big deal.
No big deal.
So what have you created for them?
Well, actually, a lot of our sets that have kind of become like part of our inventory now are things that I initially created for them. So one is our Lightbox set, which that was an early one where they wanted to tie in with like all of Apple's aesthetic, and it's a set that's basically an octagon of 4 by 8 foot white plastic acrylic panels that we backlight, and so it creates this whole this just like very glowy light around the subjects, and basks everyone in light, and then we fill it with confetti. People throw confetti, and it just is like this incredible lighting and sort of visual feast for the eyes, and it's a very fun experience for everybody who comes through it.
That's amazing. Who doesn't love confetti?
Yes. And the best part is that a professional photographer is capturing the moment.
Right.
So a big thing that's really becoming more of a big focus, or a conversation that a lot of wedding professionals are having, is sustainability. So like, how are you doing that with like all these set designs, and like making sure like you're doing the best you can to like save the earth and not reduce,
reuse.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, I mean, basically, I've made it a point, like I have a degree in environmental economics, and that has been another through line of my life. I actually host an event series called Terratonic, where it kind of brings together artists and folks in the climate community around sustainability and art.
Wow.
And,
Way to bury the lead.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Say that
Yeah. So we have a legit person on the couch right now. So
Yeah.
let's keep going with this.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, I see so much waste in events, and it doesn't, the irony is that it doesn't need to be like that. We're celebrating the most special day in somebody's life, and you really don't have to go out and, you know, fly stuff in from all over the world and have these really high carbon footprint things on the menu or things that you create for the wedding and art. And I just sort of like just put that out there for people to think about where things come from and where things go after the big day.
It's such a good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, or finding out what their wedding professionals do with what they do with that process.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally. Yeah. So for us, I mean, I used to be very much in kind of coming into the business pre-COVID, working on a lot of big corporate events. We were like printing all this stuff on acrylic and making all these new vinyl signs. And I just had a total rethink of that, where we don't need to do that. We source a lot of our materials that are used or waste products. And then also it's kind of a fun thing to think about set design and what can we get and build things out of that is either waste or something that we can reuse time and again. And that's actually led us, we have developed our own system for basically like attaching metal and wood and fabric together to create sets, because we're often creating custom stuff or adapting one of our concepts to fit into venues where it either needs to like be a certain size, or it needs to be a certain height, or it needs to fit in here, or we need to swap it out and change out the fabrics and stuff. So we've been building our own inventory of all of this stuff that can basically be reused, and we don't have to like recreate new stuff. And even when clients want something to be branded, I suppose this is maybe something more for our corporate clients rather than weddings, but a lot of corporate clients really want to like integrate their branding as much as possible into things. And instead of like printing that on the backdrop, we just do that as a digital overlay so that that backdrop can be reused again for a different event.
Oh, genius.
And not
Yeah.
something that's only used once.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And then you're probably like, sometimes you're like, I know this would look better this way, right? With some reality, like that's not probably the best, but at the same time you're like, is it worth it, or is it better to reuse, right? But like now that you're like being smart about this, you're probably building more of an inventory, I'm assuming, right? So you have bought a new space, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yay!
Somewhere to put
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys are seeing me now a little exhausted. The last 2 weeks, we have been moving into a brand new warehouse space. It's been painted for us. This has kind of been my dream for a long time, sort of with this coming into the photo industry and then the event industry, of having a space where we can both call it our own, where I've kind of been subleasing space. I have so many friends in the industry that have let me rent small parts of their warehouses over the years, like Edge Design Decor, Wonder Tent Parties, and most recently, Isaac Aaron, who's an incredible production designer, and me, and Michaela Bean, who's a prop stylist, have all shared this really cool creative space. But now I have my own space, and we can basically, up until now, everything that we've done with PhotoBohemia has been popping up at events and bringing our services on site to events. Now what we can do is have a space where we can sort of create these installations and do our own pop-ups and have people come in for photo shoots. And also for couples for their weddings, we usually are, because we're in our little warehouse pulling all the styling together, we can now bring them into our space, pull out all of the wardrobe racks, and let couples style their own collection for their wedding.
That's fun.
Yes. You know, I even think like an engagement session in there.
Yes, or an engagement session.
Yeah.
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 Or a family session. Just to be like, look at this fun Christmas card.
Exactly. Something a little different from the traditional, fall leaves and
Yeah, or just date night. You could totally do pop-up date nights, like open house, like just come and have a good time.
yeah.
Oh, it's genius. We're so excited for you with that. That's going to be a whole new animal for you.
Thank you. I can't wait. It's like I'm still wrapping my head around it, and I can't wait to invite you guys there.
Oh, we would love
We would love to.
So going into PhotoBohemia, like the long-term goal and like the most rewarding moments of all this, what has been the most rewarding moment for you?
There have been a lot of really rewarding moments. I would say I kind of have two that almost balance each other out. I would say that one is just the feedback that I get from clients. Anytime a client texts me a picture of one of the pictures from their wedding on their refrigerator with a magnet on it from like 5 years ago and is like, hey, just thinking of you, like we still love these photos so much, like that makes my day every single time. And that really
That is the best. It's the best
it's that
feeling.
lasting impression, that you made an impression on them on the most important day of their lives.
And then just send you a message 5 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says something.
Yeah.
David. That's
So
pretty cool.
that, and then the flip side of that is also just the relationships I built with the clients and the folks who weddings and events we've done, but also my team. Like I think at this point, I just turned 35, and I have built this whole little community of artists and stylists and other photographers that work with me through PhotoBohemia, and getting to like teach them some of the knowledge that I've gained. I have like a lot of technical background in photography and been able to pass that on. And what I've learned from them and through kind of the collaborations that I've had with these folks that I've worked with, and the amount of basically like the amount of money that I've been able to like pay out and support to people who are making their own ways in this world in LA as artists and photographers, that is like so huge to me. And getting to support people both on this side of the business and on the client facing side of the business, that's what's most rewarding for me.
I can relate to that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It just speaks to your heart and your vibe, and it's all good things.
All good things. Well, thanks, David, for being with us on Wedding Day Podcast. And like I said, I've been so excited to share you with the world. People need to know David. They need to know you. And then if they get to meet you, they're the lucky ones. So.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for having me. This has been such a pleasure. Thank you for your kind words and your support and all that you do, both for brides and grooms, but also for the wedding and event industry in California and across the nation.
Oh, thanks,
Thank
David.
Yeah.
I can't cry. Well, thanks everybody for tuning into Wedding Day Podcast. We'll see you next time. See you. Bye.